Fairman with me here today. He is on the show. He is our sports guy, the guy of all guys, and you got some special guests on here today. Rich, you want to take them around the room and introduce them to everybody?
Sure thing. Today we have the Special Olympics Administrator, Barbara Chisholm. She runs the Special Olympics for Meade County.
Yep.
And a pair of coaches here. We have Brittany Pack,
Okay.
Jennifer Williams, that are going to talk about the Meade County Special Olympics and how you guys can help us out.
That is awesome. So you guys had a great season this year, did you not?
We've had a few teams have had a good season. Jennifer Williams, the coach for the cheerleaders, have won state.
What?
Yep.
Are you telling me I got state record champions right here in the studio today?
Is that the second year in a row, or is it the first?
That's the second year in a row.
Oh
Second
my
year in a
gosh.
row. They won it twice.
That's awesome. I mean, I can't. Wow. In studio audience is even like clapping at that. So you guys have been doing this for how long, right?
Barbara Chisholm?
15, 20 years.
All right, Barbara. 15, 20 years. So let's go to, let's see, Brittany and Jennifer for a second. Tell me, what got you involved in doing this?
So my aunt is a part of Hardin County Special Olympics, and she got me involved, I don't know, 15 years ago or so. And then since then, I've coached with Hardin County. I've coached with St. Mary's out of Louisville.
Yeah.
And now I'm finally back to Meade County, and I've been coaching with Meade County for about 3 years.
Because with St. Mary's, you were with softball, right?
Yes.
That's the only one you did in Louisville.
St. Mary's was the one I did in Louisville.
But you've also done with Hardin County, you did basketball and softball.
I did basketball, softball, I helped
Wow.
with bowling, and I
Okay.
also helped with track and field.
Yeah.
So, Barbara, for you, how long have you've been doing this for how long?
Probably 10 years. I started out just helping out, and then I
Right.
eventually got into the coaching, and I've been doing coordinating since 2020.
Wow.
So
That is a long time. What would you say is the most rewarding part of all of this?
the athletes,
Wow.
like when either win or lose, they're happy.
I don't know. Sometimes
So-
we lose.
I was about to contradict that. I was
have
like,
to
when
say
we lose, they're
most
pretty
of
mad.
them.
They take this very seriously.
We have some competitive athletes.
Yes, we do.
I bet you got some competitive parents too.
We have some
And coaches.
competitive coaches. That's what I was going to say.
Wrong call! Oh, no, that wasn't fair.
And then he gets thrown out.
Now, Rich, you've coached this before too, from my understanding, right, Rich?
Yes.
Yes, I was one of the softball coaches, but Jennifer has now replaced me.
Okay. I didn't
And
think
he's
you
so
were
mad about it.
replaceable.
Well, somebody got thrown out of a game, so.
The bad thing is when you have the athletes consoling their parents. It's okay. I did this.
Yeah, the parents, especially at basketball. Oh my gosh, this year was it was crazy.
So let's talk about the championship. We had a lot of coverage on our social media for that. So take us on the journey to get that far and then keep that interest alive amongst all the teammates. What is that like for you guys as coaches?
Well,
So,
we
for basketball?
lost. Yeah. We lost every game we played.
Regular season.
Regular season. And so when we came to tournament, they knew. Like,
Your
they'll
regionals, yeah.
yeah, regionals. I mean, they step up and they understand the difference of a tournament play and regular play. And I know we're supposed to say it's all fun, but they want to win. And they get very serious about winning.
Right.
And basically, if you tell them it's a winner, if you win, you continue to play. If you lose, you're going home and the season's over. As soon as they hear the season's over, they want to win. They want to play more. They just want to keep on going.
Yeah. Rich, take the lead on the questions. I'm off there.
So we'll go back to the regular season. Regular season, they were kind of down, like you said. But like you said, at regionals, though, I don't know what got into them.
They stepped like everything that we had practiced all season just kicked in, and we don't take it easy on them. I mean, we've learned you have to push them, and they might get mad at us, and I don't care.
You know, I think that's where a lot of people get Special Olympics
Confused.
So, yes,
Yeah.
because I think, they don't expect our games and our kids to play as aggressively as they do and to take it as serious as they do. And that's why I think it's so good for people to come out because they get to see that side of our athletes that we talk about and that we see.
Right.
and that it is like it's a hardcore game. They put their hearts out on the court, and when they don't win, some of them are mad. They're disappointed.
Now, going back with that, like you talk about with practice and everything like that, it's hard to find a place for these kids to practice at, isn't it, Barbara?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked last year for a month, and I finally got in at Muldrow. It's just all the schools, gyms are booked every night. All the churches are booked every night.
But that's where we really want to find like a practice space here, and not only that, but Muldrow is great, and we appreciate.
Oh,
that they
so
let us use the
thankful.
gym. Because without it, where would we have practices?
But
Having it here, we can't host a home game at Muldrow. There's barely a place for our parents to sit on the sidelines, and even then, they're in the danger zone. I'm telling you.
and it's not only that, like you bring in the parents. It's hard for some of them parents to come all the way here to get all the way there, and then come all the way back again.
Right. Yeah, and so like I said, Muldrow. We've been lucky with them to allow us, but we can't host a home game, and our kid. A lot of our regionals and stuff is in Louisville. So a lot of Meade County people, if they don't want to travel to Louisville, they're not seeing our kids play.
Right.
And that was the main thing that I think got me when the Messenger interviewed them at
Regionals.
and said, they were like, we want community support. And I'm like, they weren't coached to say that. They weren't coached to say, we want you to come watch us. Because those are the same kids that go and watch the other athletes play.
Yeah.
The high school. What?
Yeah.
They're out there supporting all these high school athletes. Justin Clarkson, he's not just at high school sports. He's at demolition derbies, and he travels and watches and takes pictures and watches all these other people. And so I've told him, I said, listen, those are your friends. Get them to come and support you.
Mm-hmm.
You've supported them enough. You've drove around. It's their turn to support you.
I agree. And back to the support. How can they support businesses? Or somebody wants to reach out to, who do they reach out to?
They can contact me. My phone number is 270-980-1709. Or our P.O. Box is Meade County Special Olympics, P.O. Box 484, Brandyburg, Kentucky 40108, if they would like to send a check.
But we also have a Facebook page, people.
Yes.
There's also a Meade County Special Olympics face. If you send a message, either Barbara, Jennifer, myself, somebody will get back with you, and if you want to help out.
Say that number again.
270-980-1709. And we are having we had a fundraiser last year, and we did very well. And our businesses are really good about supporting us. So.
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing. Like when we went and fundraised, a lot of people saw me this year fundraising, and we actually took the kids with us. So we got to take some of the kids into the businesses, and I thought that was really cool. And along with like when we had this past year, we did spaghetti, the spaghetti in auction, but we may change up the food or whatever, but we're still planning to have something once a year for that fundraiser. And our kids actually work, the fundraiser, so they're cleaning off the tables, they're greeting you when you come in, they're helping you do whatever, and I think it's really cool for the community to get to see them and experience them too.
I agree, totally.
It'll probably be in June this year. We haven't got the certain date yet.
Once we get it set, though, we'll get the
Yeah.
information out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So basketball, we made it to state.
We
We'll
did.
Put it that
we
way.
did. Okay, that was tough.
That team was tough.
I knew going in though when they pulled me aside with the refs and they're like, "We're gonna call double dribbles," and I was like,
Which we also need to let them know that we did get moved up this year.
"Yes, this was
Since
our
we
first
won
year."
Last year, we
Yeah.
did get moved up into a.
And I
into an
looked at them and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, we do good to get these athletes to dribble the ball all the way down the court. You're gonna delay the game by."
and can we talk about the other team dribbling behind the back?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
And the pass.
Okay, so I also got told that somebody dunked the ball from the other team after our game. I don't know if they were messing with me. I was like, "You have got to be kidding!" Like,
Well, they were doing hand signals.
Yeah,
Oh.
they
Like,
were running full.
Yes,
play.
Yes.
they knew what they were
like,
doing.
well,
Pick
they're
and roll.
their other coach goes, "Well, I mean, this is A-League. They need to be calling double dribbles." And I was like, "This is our first year.
Yeah.
Like, you got to give us some time. Like, we're doing the best we can."
Yeah. And they did. They
They
put up a
worked
heck of
hard.
an effort. I'll give
Oh
them
my
that.
gosh, they tried so hard. And then, of course, we have our one competitive person on the bench, and he just looks at me and goes, "Coach, we're not going to win, right?" And I was like, "Dude, we
And
can
we're
still
like,
try."
Don't watch the scoreboard. And they're like, "How can we not watch the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Look at it." I'm like, Well,
But the best thing was at the end of the game, everybody was laughing about
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and
Oh
they're
yeah.
talking about the next sport, you know,
Right.
because all
Yeah.
of them, they don't just do basketball. A lot of them do track. A lot of them do softball.
Soccer.
it. Which brings me into our new sport.
Yeah,
Soccer.
we're starting soccer this year, so I'm so excited. We have 15, I think, on the team, and which is our max.
We do have limits.
But I can't
Yeah.
believe
That's okay.
I can't believe for just starting out, we already have 15 kids show up and ready to
Yes.
go.
I know they're very excited. They're like, "Mom, we have to go get our soccer ball. We have to go get our soccer cleats." They said this was the day after.
And
that
Jenny's
we told
awesome.
them.
I
Yes.
just love Jenny.
Yeah.
Like she is an awesome
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, and
Now, is this her first year coaching?
for us,
Right.
yeah, she coached the high school team boys, and then she said she went when she was in school. She played soccer, so she's really good. So she's excited. She's like, they're doing
Oh,
so
she's
good.
such a fun person.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We got track starting in 2 weeks, and then we go into softball. Then we
Yeah.
go into bowling, and then we're back to basketball and cheer. So it's a year-round sport, and not all of them do every sport. Some of them do most of the sports,
Right.
but it's a community within them. They're all friends. They contact each other. You know, I have them calling me all the time. Who's going to be on the team? I'm like, well, you have to wait till practice. You know, you're just going to have to wait.
Yes, softball is the best.
I love softball.
what's the
Softball
lineup?
is my favorite.
Am I playing short? Texting me, am I playing shortstop? I'm not the coach. Don't text me no more.
Well, then they reach out to us, and
Yeah.
I'm like, look, we're not doing the lineup until we get there. Oh, but what am I playing? Like, you know what I'm playing. I'm like,
Or like when they expect the spot because they had it last year. We're
Yeah.
like, no, you got to earn that spot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Got to earn it to keep it.
That's right.
Or I love it when they go, but like you're gonna play me with this person and this person and this person, right? I'm like, no, we're not, just because you asked for it.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that, we don't do the criticism among, each other. And I think that's the best thing, which they don't do a lot of it, but we're always really big on them building each other up and not
And
tearing each
playing
other down.
together.
Yeah, we don't
Yes.
get anywhere without them playing together.
Yeah. Now,
Right.
I mean, you do have certain athletes that okay, like these two really aren't going to work out. But in the
But that's
end,
any
it's like,
team, yeah.
like they still have to learn how to get along.
Right.
Back to the limits, though, like what she said, like how they're already filled up for soccer. But I feel like that's where, there's a lot of athletes that probably aren't involved in the program that could be involved in the program. So I don't want parents to hear that and be like, oh, well, they're full. I'm not even going to inquire about it.
That's
Yeah, that's
because there's also steps in Special Olympics. You have like we talked about,
Right.
you got moved up to A.
Yes.
There's B teams, there's A teams. So if you have 15 and you get a 15 more, you may have two
Right.
teams.
Exactly. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like basketball last year. We were actually going to try to do 2 teams, because we do have A players and we do have B players, and we were going to try to do something separate like that and still practice together, but, their games would be separate. They would be more acquainted with whoever's in their, their league.
Right.
And
We just didn't get
couldn't have
enough.
Yes.
We couldn't have enough kids, showing up to practices. And, we understand, like, obviously, if you have to miss a practice there,
Right.
here and there. But, Soki does, they do require us.
I mean, we have trainings, we have things that we have to do, we have rules from them, and they tell us what needs to be done. And your athlete has to practice because they have to be ready to play.
Right.
And they have to practice with these athletes so that way when they go in a game, then they know how to work together as a
Right.
team. It's just like,
Well, and it's not fair, for one kid to not come
Right.
to practice and another to come to every practice. And then,
And with basketball, we had the one issue. It's not one issue, but a couple of the kids, they actually work. These kids actually work.
They
They're not
do.
just sitting at home.
and I mean, we do
and it's hard,
understand
yeah.
that, and it is hard. But then on the other hand, we teach them a lot in practice. We go over the games. We work on the things that needs to be worked on from the games. And if you don't come to practice, then I just don't feel like you don't get that information.
But it's the same as any other team.
It's,
A high
I
school
would
team
treat
is the
this
same.
just
middle
like
school-
any other
Right.
sport, like any other athlete would. I mean, I've coached other things besides Special Olympics, and I treat it the same. I treat the athletes the same.
And I feel like that's what the parents should want.
Right.
When we started coaching, like I tell the parents still to this day, I'm like, I didn't sign up to baby your kids. I love them.
Right.
I love them with my whole heart. They are literally the highlight of my week. But I'm not gonna baby them. We have fun and we have a lot of fun, whether
Right.
it's basketball,
Oh, yeah.
softball, whatever. But they still have to be held to a standard on which they are an athlete and we are the coaches.
Right.
And that's the other thing too. It's like, we try to tell the parents, it's like, look, I'm the coach. I'm taking time out. I'm signing up to do this. Let me be the coach of your kids.
Yep. I agree. So Barbara, you've got to go.
Yes.
Actually, to soccer practice, which is great. One last time, if they want to volunteer, how do they go about doing that? How do they? Because I know there's a bunch of. We had to go through certificates. You got to take tests. You got to take videos and stuff like that.
Yes, they can contact me at 270-980-1709. My name is Barbara Chisholm, or they can message us on Facebook, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And
now, are we still? Or do we need volunteers? Or coaches? Are we pretty good?
I mean, we got the coaches now, but we can always use volunteers. We can always use coaches. It's just wonderful to work with these athletes, as you all know. It's just a great experience. Anybody that's ever done it has told us how much they get out of it.
Right.
And I literally signed up. Brittany got me.
Yeah, like
we won't talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they've wrote me into everything. So it's just,
I'm just like,
Well,
Jennifer,
she
I
kept-
got you down for every sport.
She kept bugging me,
coming.
and I was like, listen, if you want to be a part of this, you're going to have to show up.
Yep.
And you're going to have to be there.
and I haven't ever left.
And it
And
goes.
she hasn't left.
But Barbara, like you had said, and you give this briefing every time at the first match. Parents, this goes for you too. You got to be here to support your kids. You got to be here. You can't just drop them off and come back and pick them up.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
it gives the parents an idea of what they're working on and what they can work on from home, too.
Exactly.
Because you got to work at home as well.
And we have a really good group of parents.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
You
our
know,
parents.
so
I absolutely love our
it
parents.
helps. It helps. And it helps when you know they got a good family at home.
Hmm?
So,
But I think as far as like them being,
Can we kick Barbara out of here
get in
first?
that-
Oh, yeah.
thank you all very much.
Bye,
right.
Barbara.
We gotta get soccer practice going. Come on now.
I know. They need to run. Running is the favorite thing I think that I love to see them do. They get so mad at me.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing with basketball. I mean,
You have to
the whole
run.
time
Yes.
we're like, get down.
And as you saw with the championship game, them kids as soon as they got it, they actually ran a fast break.
Yeah.
And our kids were kind of like, we can't touch them till half court, but they're already
on the
past.
court, they've already scored.
And then here we got our kids just walk. I'm like, nah, we're not doing this, y'all. Like, I need every one of those kids that are watching to sign up for track. Like, they need to be practicing running.
Yep, exactly. Yes, because each sport feeds into the other. I don't know about bowling. But anyways, the other sport feeds into the other.
Yeah. And I mean, if they run, then that'll help them in basketball. That'll help them in softball. It might not help them with bowling, but I mean, it's not going to hurt.
Right.
Of course, they get on me because I actually run. So,
Well, like Nick Lembach, one of the greatest players ever. Let's get into weightlifting. No, Nick, we don't need Nick.
like, that would be
I'm
cool.
game for
That would be awesome.
I'm down. Yeah.
I think that would be
Let's
fun.
get
Well, that's just so he could hit the home runs. That's all he wants to do is hit home runs.
Well, and we can't, though, because with the level that we are right now,
Which I think we're going to be moving up.
I have a feeling we're moving up.
Yeah.
But we still can't hit home runs.
Yeah.
We can't. We have certain restrictions on what we're allowed to do.
They put it on everybody.
Yes.
It's a Special Olympics restriction.
Yes. And I get that because I'm sorry. If you've got somebody that's constantly able to hit the ball over the fence, there's other leagues that you can play in.
Well, we know there's a team out there that.
Oh, there's a team. There's a few
If that
teams.
basketball team had a softball team,
Well, no,
trouble.
there's a few softball teams out there that we kind of like. Why are we playing against these?
Well, I mean, and we just had a team. We had an incident to where in one of the tournaments we played in, we did have a player get punched in the head.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so if you talk about these teams and the aggressiveness, it's there.
Talk
Yep.
about the coach is going to be kicked out.
And then
There.
she just showed up, and I'm like, usually they see me as the one that's going to get irate, and I'm having to be calm. They tell me I need patience, and then I'm having to calm her down. I was like, wait a minute. Thankfully, Rich wasn't on the side of the bench because he would have been kicked out.
I was about to, I had cheer. I had
Yeah,
cheer
you had cheer competition.
So I was late getting there, and when I walked in, that happened, and I'm like, oh no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And they're like, how did you do that? And I was like,
so if
y'all
you
would
do
believe.
Get involved and wonder if your kids are going to be taken care of, they're taken.
I mean, they're taken care of, yeah. Yeah. And they're.
You got their back. That's for sure.
He did. And then I'm sitting there like having to be the calm one with the patience, which most people wonder how that happens.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to have her by my side, so I've got to do whatever it takes to get her from being kicked out.
I will admit, though, you two are quite the coaching team.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
And your,
I mean,
your
we're pretty
husband,
good.
your husband also helps out an
Yes.
awful
Yeah,
lot.
he does.
Yes.
Yeah, he's really taken a huge
course,
And the kids love him.
Of course, he got made fun of for being the ball boy this weekend, by the way. And I was just like,
Yeah, I kind of like that.
He does really good carrying all our stuff.
He's like, I just let you and Brittany do your thing. You know?
And of course, I mean, we communicate a lot. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we're best friends. We communicate a lot. I mean, we're
And
always
I think what's
texting.
awesome is like we started playing. You know?
Yeah.
So,
We
like,
started playing
have a
softball
sports
together.
history together. Yeah, before we started.
And so
coaching
we
together.
can sit there and we
Yeah,
can
church
text
league's about to start up too. So, church league coming up. I know that's where I'm at.
Well, we can text each other at any time, call each other at any time, and we sit there and we do. I mean, we don't just show up and just be ready right then. Like, we've talked about it, we've discussed it. We've got ideas on our head of what each of us want. And I think that's the best part is that we're able to work together so well.
Yep.
And the athletes see it.
Yeah.
And they know
And we keep it fun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
always fun. No matter what. No matter if we're being hard on them, if they're running because they got in trouble or what.
Oh, yeah.
It's still fun.
Because I think it's so funny when she makes them run because I love seeing them run. And then she makes them run. I just love it.
Well, the best part is you're a runner and
Right.
we are not.
Yeah, I am not. I lift weights. I don't run.
So they expect it out of me and they
Yeah.
don't expect it out of her. So they pay attention. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Because usually I'm just like the fun, like making fun of the.
Let's just do what they
making fun of Rich
want.
when we played,
Yeah.
or when we coached, and making fun of
Oh, yeah.
Brittany and Barbara, and then.
And don't forget all about our mini Snapchats that we have to do.
Yeah, keep up with the Facebook page, y'all.
Yeah, go to Facebook. page. There's some stuff on there you might not want to see.
And then Rich's sad face in the background because he didn't get involved in the team
him
picture.
photobomb. Listen, when I started, all I heard from softball is, she's done. She's done took over. It's the blonde hair. It's this. It's that. I'm like, no, Rich, I'm just cool.
When they're running up to her to give her hugs, and Rich
he's
is
like,
like,
oh, I see. Leave me hanging.
this is how it's going to be.
I
Like,
know.
yeah,
You know,
this
I
is how it's gonna
appreciate
be.
these moments, Rich. I'm getting to know you such on a deep level. This is exciting.
Well,
why-
what some people don't know is many, many years ago, Rich Fairman actually coached a little girls softball team, and he was pitching, and he sucked. And I went up to him because I was in the stands, and I was like, really? Like, he's like, do you think you can do a better job? And I said, actually, yes, I can. And he's like, well, then
Go for it.
go for it. And I did. And I believe they won.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, because, you know.
I'm a better third
Which-
base coach than a pitcher. Believe me.
Which I have to say, Angel would disagree that you're a better pitcher.
Angel hates my pitches.
I remember Angel blamed her all softball season because we lost.
Because
we got
in
third.
Special Olympics, she has to now.
Yeah, I have to pitch.
To her demise is when they line drived her a few times.
Yeah, I get hit. Like
kids
I
can
have to.
hit.
I have to wear a face mask. Like I've face planted in the dirt. I've twisted. But then they get so excited and they're like, "I hit you," and I'm like, "Thanks."
It becomes actually a badge of honor.
Wow.
Oh, I'm like, I'm getting injured for you.
Not me, I'm first base.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Ha ha, it's on you," and I was like, "You're gonna pitch now."
She'll be pitching and I'll be like, come on, pitcher.
Yeah,
I was like, don't worry, guys. It's not your bat and it's the pitcher.
And I do. I feel a lot of heat and a lot of pressure because if they don't play good, I feel to blame on that.
Well, and it's different than pitching, you know, like when we played pitching to me, you know,
Right.
because there's certain athletes that we know how they bat.
Right.
We know where their zone is, you know.
Yeah.
And it's the pressure of getting it to their zone.
You're literally
you know,
having to throw the ball to where you know their bat's going
for
to go.
every different athlete.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you have to learn every athlete and
Right.
you have to learn their bat swing. And then you also, not only that is, I'm not allowed to talk
Yeah,
when
you
I
can't co-
pitch.
you can't coach from the
She's
mound.
not, she's not allowed to talk to them, set them up at the plate or anything.
I can't touch
Be
them.
like, Jen.
And so I'm constantly yelling at first base and third base, going, "What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like, get them in line."
I'm just saying, when I was a third base coach, that didn't happen.
No, I yelled at you
Get
I
every
knew
out
time.
of here.
So-
Oh my gosh.
So, a couple questions. So, how many sports are there for that we're doing for the Special Olympics here?
That we
Six
do.
right now with soccer.
Six?
I think it's
Six.
six.
We've got
that
track.
Meade County does.
Track,
Yes.
All right.
softball,
Basketball,
bowling, basketball, soccer.
cheerleading.
Oh, and cheerleading. Six.
And now, which one do you find the most enjoyment for?
I love softball.
Well, we're all yeah.
I mean, I'm pro softball, but I will have to say, like, doing cheerleading this year, like I did it last year, but I just helped the coach. Like doing it this year as the head coach, and I actually had Delaney Fackler from the high school cheer team, which was really cool that she came and helped all season, and went to like, you know, state and stuff with us.
And that is the only sport where the actual high school athletes will come and they help the girls out. I would love to see more.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Lady Waves come help out with the basketball.
Absolutely,
Softball.
yeah. Or
Softball.
I mean, you got a baseball and a softball team. I mean, either one of them.
Right. Yeah,
It's
the baseball team can help with our softball.
Just
The
do
softball team
even
can
if
help.
they was to do pitch and catch, like just throw the ball with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that would just
And
be so
fielding.
cool.
Show them, because
Oh,
we've shown them how
gosh.
to field, but
Right.
we're like their parents. I'm not listening to you. What do you
Yeah,
know?
we're-
Now
yeah.
another athlete comes up and says, "This is the way I do it." They're going to try to mimic that.
Yeah,
And
they
then
love it.
And that's what
Oh,
we
yeah.
do.
Especially the
Cheerleading-
kids that they go watch.
Exactly.
You know.
Right.
They look
You know,
up to
Kim's been involved with softball for how many years?
I'm not even going to. 2006, 2007.
Like, you're so old, you can't remember.
Hey, so let me pull this in real fast. I just want to say there's a couple shout outs here. You coaches are great from Barbara Geary. And then, yeah, so you guys get a free plug from Mom. That's good. But Stacy Robbins, she says, well, what do you need to donate it? Or what do you need donated?
So-
And I chimed in back to her, told her to call Barbara, but you guys talk about that for a little bit.
So, you know, I think that's where a lot, like when I joined the committee, like I'm a coach, but I'm also on the committee for Special Olympics, and fundraising is what I'm over. So
Right.
I think that was a lot of things when I started going to businesses last year. You know, they were like, you know, I was like, you know, this is where our funding comes in. Our community, our fundraisers, that's the only
Yeah, we do not
funding
get
we have.
state funded.
We don't
No.
get state funded. And, you know,
No
they
money.
were shocked. Like, they were like, really? And I'm like, yeah.
So when you send a check to Soki, which is the Kentucky Soki, none of that goes to us.
Right.
yeah,
we
like
don't
it may
see
go
that.
to the events or something like that, but it doesn't personally affect the kids here in the community on like a first basis. you know?
Now I will say one thing, and this is for softball because our league is in Louisville.
Yes, and they have to
There
travel.
is nothing here.
Right.
We have talked about getting a van. We've talked about renting, and we've used a van. which is
MARC has
great.
been very good with us to be able to use their
And they
van.
actually just gave us, you know, we've gotten donation
Right.
from them recently too, and they have been great about using the van. If it wouldn't have been for that, I don't know what we would have did with the ask.
So Stacy Robbins is agreeing to donate $50, and she's going to call the number, and she's asking anybody out there who else is watching to match her at $50 and call in on the number and help out this amazing group that's here.
Yeah.
So Stacy, thank you so much for
you.
that
Hey,
donation.
thank you
Please
so
call
much.
Barbara, and she'll give you all the how to get it directly to her. You guys all have to have you set up an account with Zeffy. I'm going to help you guys set that up so you can continuously get these donations and stuff. We'll talk after this, but go ahead. What I want to know is how many of these businesses do you go to? And who are some of your top donors? Did
Okay.
you want to talk about them?
Yeah. So last year, oh my goodness, I went to Doc's Barbecue. They donated. I went to Mr. Getty's, donated it, you know, and they're really good about letting us use the party room and stuff.
We actually have a
raise
pizza
for-
party coming
Yes,
up next week
Next week.
Yep.
for our basketball.
team,
Yep. And we just had our cheer banquet there at Mr. Getty's also.
We love keeping things local.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Home Plate, Miguel's. I mean, anything that you can think. Powers Paper Company. I mean,
Stonegate Realty?
Bluegrass Auto Service. Yeah, Stonegate Realty.
With Amy Chisholm.
I mean, just there was probably I went to probably 50 or 60 businesses. And the crazy thing is, a lot of the chain restaurants have gotten to the point where they're like, well, we can't do a donation, or it has to, you know, like franchise
Right.
type of stuff. They're like,
Yeah,
"No,
they want
we
you
have
to talk to corporate or
Right.
the corporate, you know, all of that stuff. But we actually had some workers from that place be like, well, I can't give you a donation through our business, but I can give you a personal donation.
Right.
And there was a lot of employees that did, you know, and you don't ever have to worry, because if you're giving a donation, we're giving a receipt.
Right.
You know, you never have to wonder like where your money's going. But, you know, to do this for these kids, it requires a lot of money. We don't get paid.
Right.
You know, all of us
all
just
volunteer.
All volunteer, like
We
our
have-
gas, our transport, and of course, as some of
Everything.
y'all know, like I'm driving all over the place.
Yeah.
So I work in E-Town. I come down to Meade County, and I go to Indiana on the weekends to my boyfriends, and then I'm driving back and forth from E-Town to Louisville to wherever.
Right. And like when these sports overlap, like I had cheer going on the same time as
Yeah.
I had basketball going on.
And
so I
let
had
me tell
cheer.
you, that's not happening again.
Yeah, it is happening because I'm going to be the head coach of cheer and I'm going to coach basketball. But
have to be there.
It's hard, like because
Annette Brindley Edwards just matched Stacy for another $50 on the show.
thank you so much.
Stacy's calling him out. She's like, "Hey, I see you. You're watching. You put your $50 in. I'm gonna match you guys." So,
And I know,
hey,
like,
keep it coming, Stacy.
last
And
year-
that. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Last
thank you
year,
so
what we did, our softballs changed.
Right.
Like, so I put out a plug and I was like, "Hey, y'all, anybody got any softballs they want to donate?" And then I had people like, "Well, I'll just send you some money." I'm like, "Hey, I mean, that's great." And
Right.
I literally was able to get enough softballs to get us through oh gosh, I don't even remember how many I got. How many did I get?
There was like
we had enough
2
for all.
buckets, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
we
like
got
2 buckets.
We got a
worth.
lot.
Because when we had to switch from the one size to the other, it was like,
But
oh,
and everybody had bought them because that's the size everybody needed.
right. And then I was in Duke Sporting Goods and ran into one of the ladies with the Maine Special Olympics, and I was like, "Look, like I can't find these balls," and I was like, "And we have a game, like literally driving there right now," and she's like, "It's okay, I got you flagged. You just get me when you get there, and you're okay this game." And I'm like,
Hey,
"Oh."
girls, let me ask you a quick question. What's that PO box you can send a check to? Didn't you say 480?
484, I believe.
That's
I have to
you all.
double-check that.
You're on the committee. We're not.
I know.
Do the coaching.
Well, I tell you what, Barbara isn't answering the phone right now, but text her. That's a cell phone number.
Well,
She's
she is
actually-
actually at soccer right now.
yeah, so she's probably coaching, but Stacy, give her a text.
Yeah, she's got 2 athletes with
Yeah, or
her
feel
too.
free to message the Meade County Special Olympics
Yeah.
page, and we'll be
Yeah.
sure to get back to you really quick. And see, that's another thing I think that people don't understand with our fundraisers. You know, they see the schools doing the cards, you know, to the restaurants, the discounts, or, you know, the calendar raffle or the 50-50 raffle. There's a lot of things that Special Olympics Kentucky do not allow us
And
to
we
do.
can't do that. That's what I was going to say. We cannot do that.
We literally have to go through state to do any type of fundraising. We can't just offer up a fundraiser. Like everything has to go down the line.
So can a business make a percentage donation?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
We just have to be able to say, hey, look, like when I go, like
Like if Dunkin' Donuts wanted to give out coffee tags,
Yes.
and you got like 5,
actually,
right?
at Starbucks.
Starbucks sponsored us. didn't
One of
Yeah,
my
last
friends
year.
with
The
Starbucks.
year before
Okay.
last.
She
2
is
years.
at a Louisville organization. She
Okay.
got, and this is what I see is that you see Starbucks, like they're a huge company. They literally gave each player on our softball team a gift bag, and that gift bag, and the coaches got one too, you know, because obviously, we got cups, we got a whole bag of coffee.
There was like cookies and
There-
stuff in there.
So what if I at the newspaper gave you like a percentage of an ad? Like if you guys could get a whole bunch of businesses and we gave them
you
some
got this.
publicity and you get a percentage of the ad in the paper.
That's all you.
Yeah.
You got this.
For
You
sure.
could get that. Okay. 'Cause, all right. Well, we'll talk. Then.
Yeah, we just have to be able to,
without going through the Soki. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
there's just, you know, certain things that kind of were like, you know, they told us they couldn't do 50-50, so we couldn't do that at our
Well, then
spaghetti
because
dinner.
that requires like a
Gambling.
But
license.
the thing about it is when we had cheer competition this year, the last 2 years they've did it. And so there's ways to do it. It's just you have to
Finding
get it
the
approved,
loopholes.
but you have to get it approved before you do it. And that's like when I went to businesses, I had to be like, hey, look, I went to this business, they gave me this. I went to this. So we've got a chart of everybody that gave, how much they gave, what they gave.
So it's so interesting you say that. So I am moving the newspaper into the digital age, right? So our website, I mean, it's starting to come. We've got this going on with the podcast. I mean, what do you think of the podcast so far?
I think it's pretty cool.
It's a cool experience.
But,
Okay,
but then
but-
I also see like some of the people like the actual paper because like my mama, like
Yo, they do.
She like that's what Rich would take a team picture,
Right.
and I'm like, I'm in that because my mama's looking for me.
Right. So the only thing you can't do with the paper is pinch the pictures to make them bigger, right? So yeah. So
Oh, but she can cut it out and put it on her fridge.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Then
know,
they
she's
call
done for-
me. Then they call me for the digital.
yeah, that's it. Well, we're getting a lot of that content out there, but what I was trying to let you guys know is, and I really want to help you guys right after we're done with this, I'm going to show you a couple of things that'll help you with fundraising, especially because it's a 501c3, right? Is that correct? So there's some programs out there that help you digitally capture a lot of these donations so that you can answer those questions and pull a report and just launch it. So you're not having to do a lot of pen and ink changes for all the accounting stuff. And I think that'll probably help you.
That's going to go on you.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Hey, listen, I will help you guys all day long.
I will help you.
Super
Help
easy.
me.
Super easy to set up, and it goes really quick. But you guys will be very appreciative of that after I show you what it does.
And that's why I love like being with her and being able to do things with her. And I can just look at her and go, "You got this, right?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, but I'm going to call you." I'm like, "Oh, you can call me."
Well,
But
and that was the thing with the businesses. You know, I think that it was so cool because like
you got your
taking the
face
kids
out
around-
there.
Well, and not only that, but yeah, like getting to take the kids. That was my biggest thing.
Oh, they
were
enjoyed
like,
it.
You want to take the kids? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, and they were like, "Oh, which one?" And I'm like, I would
All
take
of them.
all of them. Right? So like one day I took one kid and another day one day I had like 3 in the car, you know?
Oh, and
like,
they get mad. Like if you don't ask them, like they get mad. They're like, "But you asked that one. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't you ask me?" I'm like, "That's all, Jen."
yeah, and then I promised ice cream. So I was like, wow, you know.
So Stacy Robbins asks, "What else can I do?" And she says, "I have a special husband and 2 kids." Ask Teresa Smith. But she says, what else can they do besides, check donations? Obviously, I heard you say some
How about
softballs
just come
were
to the
donated.
games?
Support.
Yeah,
Come
to the
to the
games.
games.
There you go.
Watch them. Cheer them on.
Yeah, even our practices. So like our softball when it starts here in the next, we're gonna start practices.
So
like
where do
next
they go to
April.
find the schedules?
We post them on Facebook.
Yeah, a lot of times it's posted. Now we do not.
Now you got to
the
explain
greatest.
this like a 3-year-old. Where on Facebook do
The
they go?
Meade County Special Olympics Facebook page.
There you go.
And we are trying to get better, but we haven't did the best on posting like practices. But like our practices are at Meade Olin, but all of our games are in Louisville.
Well,
so,
and hopefully, like we did last year, because I do have communication still with Hardin County. And so last year, Hardin County came down and we actually played a game,
a home game.
a home game versus.
Which it was last notice, and we didn't do a lot
it
of
was. I mean,
posting, you know,
we
posted
do
it,
have
like,
to
the
do
week
better.
of.
Yeah. But then it also depends on weather too.
Right.
And to get the people out. And I know even from coaching other counties, even if you're coming out and you may be watching our county, like I've had to yell at my mom because she sat on the other bench. And I was like, "Mom, no, you're here for me." And she was like, "You're fine." I'm like, "No, I'm not." But like we don't care. Like we don't care. Yes, I care that my mother did that. But if you want to come out, you can sit with any bench.
Yeah,
and
well, just like
cheer them all
state
on.
competition for basketball. You know,
Yeah.
the bleachers were full this year.
We'll give one shout out to a couple of people. It's the Nicolais.
Oh,
The Nicolais supported the Special Olympics for I don't know how long.
Nick was the one that told me that they dunked because he came out and they joined us for dinner because my family actually came out and watched our game on Saturday.
They come to the softball game.
They come to the basketball
game,
and they're always like they'll text us and like, "Okay, so where is it?" And they're really good about reaching out and finding out when we play and showing up.
And actually, when they show up, some of the kids light up. They're like, "Hey, look who's here!"
Yeah, well, because they've been involved with Meade County sports for so long. Their kids have been involved with Meade County sports. They know Meade County sports.
Right.
And that's what I love.
Final question to you, Rich.
Oh, hold on. I want to say something.
No, I'm not coaching.
No.
So we have been throwing around the idea of a cornhole tournament fundraiser for Special Olympics. I know cornhole's gotten really big, and I've had somebody, Lynn Swink, that does the Lumberjacks tournaments. He's reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I would love to help. Let me know how I can help." And I was like, "Hey, if you can facilitate a cornhole tournament, maybe."
Well, are they
do
able to
something."
do that and then they just give us the money to where?
Well, I think it's like like with any other type of fundraiser, they would take half and. Half of it would go to us and half of it would go to that. But like, we have ways of like getting the kids involved.
Mhm.
And I, like most fundraisers for charity, a lot of people like even if they win, they're like here,
Right,
Right.
right.
that type of thing.
Have
But,
you
I
have
mean,
you have you played cornhole with some of these kids?
I haven't played.
I
cornhole.
They're gonna whip They're good. I'm telling
Listen,
you.
I won't go against them in bowling.
Exactly.
Like
Oh, no, in bowling,
they
I don't stand a chance.
they will outbow me any day of the week and then brag about it
3-on-1
for
at
years.
basketball, they get me enough. So
Yeah, I know that wears me out.
wear me out too.
Rich, take the final question. Give them the final question.
Why are we awesome?
Are you looking at the best?
All right, here. So I was telling Rich to give him the final question, and he went silent on me. So.
First
Well, I was really trying to think of a good one.
All right,
Let's
so
note this, that Rich Fairman got silent.
so Rich, make you even more silent. Felicia Thomas says, "Hey, Rich Fairman."
Hey, who is our photographer for Special Olympics?
Yeah.
Who does most of our photos and team photos and kids photos
You.
and takes their time
You.
to come do our kids
That'd be you.
I don't know.
and edit their photos?
Felicia Thomas.
And-
She did the
this
photos
year,
this year.
She did do our
did.
basketball. She did do our basketball.
But Rich Fairman, he is big, and with this photography,
You don't mean in size, right?
his
that
head,
too, that
it's all
too.
in his head.
It's head. Okay, got it.
Definitely
But
that.
Rich, we really appreciate everything that you do
Absolutely.
for us, for our team, with our photos.
Don't cry.
I just do that so you'll play Kim. That's all.
So Rich Fairman, his studio is right here at the Messenger Studios. Rich has a studio set up right here, affiliated with the Messenger Studio. So come out, get in touch with Rich Fairman. He does a great job on his photos, and you're getting a live plug from the coaches who know the best photographer in town for sports.
Yes.
yeah, and all sports. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
And the
School,
messenger, when the messenger showed up for our regional tournament and went Facebook Live,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
It was so cool. And then,
Yeah, you're not going to get that on WMMG.
and talk to the team, like the kids.
Yeah.
You know,
And what
it was
I
so
thought
cool.
was cool is because there is some people that they can't drive and they can't come out.
Right.
And doing that gave them an actual opportunity to be able to see the athletes play.
I will have to say, Noah, I have to give him a shout out because I know he's going to be watching because
Oh,
he
yeah.
was like, I made the messenger and they got me in a
Well,
picture
and
and
then
they
we-
got my name on there.
Well, and then we also, they got interviewed too.
Yeah.
And so they were really excited
Which
about
I thought
that.
that was funny because he was like so shy in the interview. Like,
Oh, my gosh.
Justin, he's never shy, but
No.
And then Noah was like, I made the messenger. Like, I was like, yeah.
And
you did.
oh, by the way, he works at Kroger's. If y'all
does,
want to
yep.
go see him and congratulate him on an awesome season.
Yep, he was our number 33. That was
He got called LeBron James.
And he was new
Yeah.
this
the
year.
tournament.
He was another kid that didn't know.
brand new.
You know, he had graduated high school. He played sports in high school and didn't even know that Special Olympics existed, I don't think, until
Yeah.
Tammy.
So we're out there. So yeah.
Listen,
and we
you
would
heard it
love
right
for y'all
here.
to join us.
You heard it right here. All you got to do is go to their Facebook page. I put it in the chat comments. It's Meade County Special Olympics. They're doing such a great job. You guys are awesome. Brittany Pack and Jennifer Williams, the two coaches for cheerleading and basketball. And, of course, Barbara Chisholm, who had to leave early. Just a great job, Rich. That was a great job tonight. I want to take your attention to the table right next to us because we've got Easter baskets. They're still coming in. Tomorrow is the cutoff, or today was actually the cutoff to get the Easter baskets in. And you can hear them in the background. They're still
did have
talking.
Easter baskets.
But the Easter baskets are growing. Folks, you've got until Friday to color and get your coloring assignments in. Adults, I've got to tell you, if you're an adult out there, get your coloring done. So you two girls need to take an ad. Yeah, and because there's a couple of baskets to be given away for the best adult colorer.
I got
And
this.
you
Y'all don't
can't
even
steal it,
try.
Rich.
Y'all don't even try. I got this. In the
You've
bag.
got it. All right. Hey, listen. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to say thank you again for tuning
you.
in.
Thank
This is
you
such a
very
great
much.
night. Looks like you guys got some donations. And, we hope to see you back again tomorrow. Tune in for the next podcast right here on the Meade County Messenger.
Over.